first. Okay, so for 2 people, we're looking at about 6-7 spears of asparagus boiling away there in some brooding water, and lightly salted. All right then. Now, as you see, I've actually bashed that. Where are you going, Jason? All right, onto that, a little bit of ham. Now, you could use prosciutto if you like. It's entirely up to you. Now, it's up to you whether you want to cook this all the way in the pan, on the stove, or last minute. Let's say you're cooking for maybe 8, 9, 10 people. Doing big numbers, you can always throw them in the oven last minute to give them a flash so they cook all the way through. Then I'm taking some beautiful Swiss cheese, Jarlsberg. I like to throw in a touch of salt and a good grinding of pepper. Then we take another thinly bashed scallop of veal straight over the top. Now you can do the same thing with chicken. Eggplant's something else. Even though you're putting ham in the middle, it's not quite vegetarian. However, a little bit of eggplant, cheese, ham, eggplant, same. But this works really well because of the stickiness of the meat. Then what we need to do is coat it in flour, eggs and breadcrumbs, which is the French way of panéing something, which is coating, give it that lovely crust, and all the moisture stays from within. And as the cheese melts and the ham gives off its smoky flavour, oh, it's just a nice dish. All right, now a couple of eggs. So I have some seasoned flour, which is basically plain flour with a little bit of salt and pepper in it. And I'll take my scallop of veal, right, and lightly dust it. Now, only lightly, because what happens if you dust it too heavily, you'll find that the crumbing will actually fall away from it because there's too much flour. Then dip it through the egg. With clean hands, you could get a bit of a, if you're doing a few, you could get a bit of a production line happening. Then through the breadcrumbs. Now I'm just using your shop bought dry breadcrumbs, okay? Now I've got a pan nice and hot. Not too hot though, you don't want to burn the crumbs, so maybe take it off the heat just for a touch. Now, your schnitzels here. It's very similar in some way to the salt and bocca, you know, the wonderful dish of, say, chicken, for example, with the prosciutto and the sage. Okay, so hot pan, straight in there. And what you do is brown it on one side, then we turn it, then you can possibly put that straight into the oven. Now, just a little salad to go with the asparagus, which is cooking away. Asparagus sort of being in season. Whether you have green or white, it's entirely up to you, and whether you can access it or not. All right. Wipe your board down. Fennel. Lovely. Lovely. Do you like that? Nice and aniseedy flavour. Use some of those tops. So I'm just going to make a little salad to go with it. And keep it really simple, just with some olive oil, extra virgin if you have it. A squeeze of lemon juice. Now, the thing is with this, I love this stuff just raw. And it's actually very delicious raw, not only because it sort of is refreshing, but it helps aid digestion as well. Now the way I've cooked this veal cordon bleu is to cook it for 2 people. So you've only had the crumb, basically the one lot, but you just cut it in half. All right, so grab ourselves a bowl, a little bit of the fennel broken up, a squeeze of lemon juice, lime if you have it, some extra virgin olive oil just to anoint. Definitely needs salt and pepper. Salt's going to draw the flavour, almost give it a little bit more of a crunch and real cleanness around your teeth as you're eating it. All right, clean that out of the way just a touch. Some fresh basil, just slightly chopped, chiffonade if you may. Watch that veal cordon bleu. I've actually got one in the oven to make life just a touch easier. Throw that in. Grab your asparagus whilst it's warm, whilst it's hot. Now asparagus really does need a little bit of time in the water, at least 3 to 4 minutes, and it should be super tender. You should be able to pierce it with a knife and pull it out with no resistance. You don't want that squeakiness. Then to cut it up, the thirds. Yeah, give it a good toss. Now to serve it up, straight on a plate. Use your hands, it's much easier to sort of lay things out that way. Then, give that one a turn. But hey, I've got one in the oven that's cooked through anyway. So just think about it, the cheese is melted and the ham sort of, oh. Yes, please. Turn the heat off. Now, because it's for 2, obviously you need to cut it in half. Be careful, that cheese is going to be like molten lava, straight on the top there. And hey, you know I love olive oil, just a touch over the top. But very simple, very clean flavours, nothing like melted cheese on veal or scallops with a little bit of prosciutto or ham in the middle. Come back after the break for Lindy's Moroccan-style chicken and quinces. Now that